regardless of being religious or not, for some reason, prayer seems to take the edge off. Again, it helps to dispel or to disassemble some of the stress that I'm feeling in life. And those moments where I'm going through hell and I'm scared. There was a time I sat in a prisoner's box and didn't know about my future. I was totally uncertain. Well, guess what? I was praying. So, that's one extreme. But I've found that when I was going through very difficult times in rehab, so that sometimes just a prayer in my own style, not a religious way, helped just take the edge off. That's the whole thing that I like to bring up, is that that's prayer, meditation, and mindfulness are some of the tools that we can use. Speaking of tools, so rehab teaches us tools of coping, tools to avoid relapse. I've already discussed some of this already in this recording. But other tools, when a person is considering relapsing, to play the tape out. That's the tool. So what that means is to think ahead of what's going to happen. So if I'm entertaining a thought about relapsing, I think to myself, well, what's going to happen? And I've learned this from a few relapses, but I know that I'm going to end up in that dark, dingy place where I'm lying and deceiving again to others, and I don't feel so good about myself. Even the high itself will not be as good as I was hoping, because it's a big downer when I know that I've disappointed myself and people around me. And then there's the whole anxiety of it all. Creating anxiety for myself, well, that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid when I'm in treatment, in recovery. I don't want to create more problems for myself. So that's an example of thinking down by playing the tape out and realizing what's going to happen. Then I have to hide up or explain why my urine test is going to be positive. Just another example there. So it took me several goes to realize why it is that relapses just aren't worth it, that I'm going to end up in a worse off place, that I'm going to create more anxiety for myself. So this is a great example of an awesome tool to use, and again, it's called playing the tape out. Rehabs, there comes a time where a person is ready to be discharged, and not everybody is fully ready. They may say it, they may smile, and everybody agrees, and everybody's happy for them, but once they're back on their own, that's a real tough test for them. So hopefully they've learned what in rehab will help them, but they need ongoing care. So rehab is not just the end-all and be-all. They need to have aftercare, after rehabilitation care. And for myself, what I do is I attend a group once a week. It's a self-help group. It's my Aftercare group. It's mediated by an addiction physician. Not everybody needs that. Just a drug treatment counselor is good enough for that. But as a physician, we need to have addictionists there. So the point is, though, is we need to have enduring care, ongoing, and I need to continue to be open and honest and candid. And that's something I didn't mention in rehab, but that's a super important facet of recovery, is to be able to own up, be honest, and share myself candidly with others in that group. And I've extended that to my self-help group every Wednesday, and we know each other very well, and we can pick up on when there's issues. And so that's a good, healthy recovery. And the funny thing is, the things I mentioned right now are not just good for recovery, they're also good for happiness. Thanks for listening.